how do you guys measure? Yeah, we talked a little bit about this, about setting students up for success. How do you measure which of those schools is, let's say, underperforming
Sure.
or performing up to the standards that you're wanting to set? How do you measure the success of an entire school?
That is a large challenge. So you have in our school system this year, we had one of our elementary schools was a national blue ribbon school, which is about the highest award that any school can receive. It's a national award that's given at the federal level. And you look at all of our schools, and especially our elementary schools, which are actually comparable because we only have one middle school and one high school. Our elementary schools are also different in terms of poverty and affluency, and you look at things like transiency, how many students are coming from other school systems to these different pockets of our community, which ultimately has to do with home values in one area opposed to another area of town, those kind of things, where you can't just use just straight academic data, be it test scores or those kind of things, to really measure success. You've got to you really have to pinpoint and drill down as far as you can in some of that data to really see where that success is. And success to me is measured in multiple ways, but one of those pieces of success is a student who comes to us from a neighboring school system who may be behind a couple of grades in reading. And in 1 year, we'll see those couple of grades come back. That is outstanding success. You're not going to see that on any newspaper report or things like that, but that's true success of what we do with students that we have for an entire school year and the growth they make. And then you multiply that by a school in general, really shows the success of those teachers and what they're doing in the classroom.
That's an interesting tactic to kind of measure yourself against other school systems, is to, hey, let's look at students who are migrating here and let's look at how they performed when they got here and how they're performing after a year or two. That's an interesting perspective to do that.
Yeah, so we have no control, of course, what happens to them when they're not with us, but we have absolute control when they're with us. So we want to ensure that we're doing everything possible that we can to help them grow and be successful. And there in our area, there's a lot of comparison to our neighboring school systems and how they perform on AP scores and all these things, and you really can't compare. It's very apples and oranges to me, and that really has to do with who your students are, what type of population you have. I think we're sitting at 22 to 24% poverty total in our district. Where our neighboring school systems, our smaller independent school systems, not our large county school systems, but those small city school systems have far less poverty than we do.
We're talking about like Vestavia and Mountain Brook.
Yep. I would even say Trustville. A lot of those that we're compared to in all areas, we sort of look at each other and go, what are they doing and how are they doing over here? But really, it's what's so special about Homewood to me is that we do have a higher poverty rate. And we have challenges that are very unique to us that our neighbors don't have, and our students still do so well academically and athletically, and just from an extracurricular standpoint. That's something that really separates Homewood, I think, from many, many places.
Yeah.